Good. All right. Jeez. It's like a mountain. Oh, come on. Wow. Yeah. You all right?
Yeah.
Yes, I bet that felt good.
Well, I was working over at Hulk, and I used to work the night shift, and it's a lot of industrial maintenance, and it's a lot of overhead work, and I used my shoulder too much to clean the rubber off the wheels.
I got you.
And I've had a lot of terrible neck issues. When I sleep, I lose blood to this arm, feeling to this arm. I could be standing there, and my fingers will go numb.
Mm-hmm.
It could be in both arms. It's mostly this arm, though.
Okay. The discs that come out of your lower neck interact with the nerves that go down all the way to your hand. So numbness in your hand, sensation, weakness, blood flow.
Yeah.
All of the circulation of your arm ultimately is controlled by the nervous system. And so there's poor blood flow. It's still nerve. It's still the wire in your lower neck. When you're lifting your arm up and tilting your head is the same thing. And just so you can see a little bit better on the model, when the disc, I'm going to use the lower back just because it's a little bigger and this model has an injury here at lumbar 3, the disc can interact with the nerve.
Okay.
When you tilt the spine, so for instance, this is the front side of our body, this is the back side, these are the little spinuses that we feel on the back. When I tilt the spine to its left, watch the size of the hole here on the right. See how it gets bigger?
Yeah.
Right? And then if I tilt towards that side, it gets smaller.
Yeah.
So do you see how lifting my arm up and tilting my head makes the holes on that side get smaller?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Ed, I'm working like this. I got my arm up, which means basically the way I interpret it, I had my head tilted all the way to the right. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
And there was already a disc injury there, and by tilting my head or lifting my arm up, it hit that nerve, right? You're hitting the wire that the disc is able to touch. Does that make sense? And so it's happening obviously here in the lower neck, but these little spacers these discs are non-sensitive, and it takes 10, 15 years to get them to be injured, but that's what's going on. We have a disc injury. It's going to cause atrophy. It's going to cause weakness. It's going to cause all sorts of shoulder symptoms, but treatment on the shoulder, like I think you've already gone through, isn't going to work.
Right.
Because it isn't ultimately the shoulder's problem. It's like a breaker being off in your garage, and then the whole circuits in your kitchen aren't working, your stove's not working, your microwave's not working. It's like, well, you can take apart the appliance all day long, but if you don't get the breaker in the garage back on, you're just goofing around.
Yeah.
You have to get the power from your spinal column. This is the breakers in here. And what we'll feel in a second is I expect the areas around to be resistant. So in order for you to overstress this part of your spine, that must mean that other parts aren't working properly. How stiff those areas are tell me how abused this area is. And so I'll explain more as I'm working on you, but it'll make more sense. And that was really tight here, and that's the cause. Or, and it's very tight up here, and that's the cause. Your neck is supposed to work by this round joint called the atlas, and a lot of mobility is supposed to happen up here.
Wow.
And not down here.
Okay.
And so you're using these guys only lead about 5-10 degrees, and this guy gives 45 degrees each way. And there's no disc. If you see the model, the skull sits on this round donut, which sits on a pin.
That's really interesting.
And then the first disc is right there below the second guy.
What cushions it right in here?
They're just knuckles. They're just joints.
Wow.
They're just like your finger knuckles. There's no disc in between the bones in your hand.
Okay.
Because there's no disc, the joint can do a lot of range of motion. The disc limits mobility. The disc for shock absorption, for creating a space for the wires to get through, but ultimately the weight shouldn't be all on the disc. And this is where at a young age we're looking down, reading and writing, and we lose the natural curve in our neck. This curve goes straight, and all the weight gets put on these discs, which over time causes them to bulge out.
Yeah.
And then you're working at a job site, the discs already bulged out, and then you lift your arm up, and that squeezes that hole down a little bit longer, and then you finally start pinching the nerve. Just look straightforward. Any pain when you turn your neck? Go ahead and turn your head left or right, yeah, both ways. Any pain when you do that?
Yeah, but it's in the back.
So let's go ahead and do it again. So go ahead and keep your head straight. Turn your head right. Pain on the right now or nothing?
It's on the right.
On the right hand side when you turn right, and go ahead and turn your head left.
Still on the right.
Still on the right. So whether you turn it left or right, it's still just that joint's moving. So when you turn right, you're compressing the joint, okay? And when you turn left, you're opening the joint. So we have a sprained knuckle. That's the joint that can also interact with the nerve. And so lower neck is hypermobile, right? And so we're going to check that at the end. Do you see how if I get your upper neck moving and your upper back moving, this area is not going to be the sole proprietor. It's not going to be the sole part of your neck that function. Go ahead and look up for me. Any pain? Pain to look up?
Yep.
Yep, okay. That's the joint. So you're compressing it, okay? It probably doesn't hurt when looking down, look gently, but
No.
no. So when you bend your head down, it opens the joint. So it decompresses the joint. This is where people will get stuck, and that's actually what feeds this disc problem, is that because you have a joint problem, many people will just, there we go. It's all better.
Yeah.
And that's why you see people aging, you understand, hunching forward because they're running away from their joint pain.
I feel like
right?
that's how I look.
Well, that's where we're all going. And then do you see how by going farther forward, we compress that cartilage more, which then further creates disc injury, and then why people have surgeries because of disc injury.
Yeah.
And so as much as, and there are a lot of therapists and chiropractors that will sometimes feed this by doing therapy, right? Care just to make you feel better by putting your head forward, but in the long term is actually hurting you. Take a deep breath in for me. We'll sit up, and then let all the air out. Relax. Yeah, we got work to do. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath in. I got you. Head back. Exhale. Chin down. Easy, easy. All right, yeah, we'll get it. A little too tight up there. We're gonna get them. Scoot down for me on your side. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale. One side for me. Good. Here we go. Breathe. I got you. Beautiful, beautiful. Face up. Okay. All right. Yeah, you got a big bump here on the right side of your neck, but all right. So, injury here. Nobody ever touches your lower neck. Nobody adjusts your lower neck. We're going to work above and below. Primarily, the upper neck is the main cause. We're going to loosen this up a little bit. Let the chin come up for me, and now relax your neck. Perfect. Just relax here. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. It's okay. Let it go. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. All right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty tight up there. If your upper neck was loose, I'd be confused, right? If your upper neck moved willingly and easily, you wouldn't need to be here, right? This area being stiff is understandable. This is what we're here to fix. We have to make the upper neck willing to move without me having to beg it, not me having to try to force it. Does that make sense? It needs to be a willing member of your team, not somebody that shows up an hour late and leaves 2 hours early, like I'm sure some of you are. Exactly. I know that coworker. Do you know him too?
I can't. Some people might watch this.
I'm just teasing. People's ducking out early. That's your upper neck. Your upper neck is the person that's not finishing their shift and then leaving the other workers to do extra.
That makes sense.
That's all that's happening here. And your poor lower neck saying, can somebody give me a break and a Kit Kat bar? Anyway. We'll get it. Easy. I got you. Relax. We'll get it. Yeah, way too tight up here. There we go. Good. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm going too hard, please let me know. I'm going to keep trying to go to the limit of what you can handle, but we got to dig. There's your problem. All right. It's probably like a bearing, like on the ride. It gets filled with dirt, and you got to replace the bearing or whatever. You know, it's like a.
I wish I could do that.
Can somebody just replace this?
Oh yeah.
This bearing up here is all rusted.
It already feels looser.
Yep. It's got to work all that gristle out of there. Nobody's targeted this area up here. Nobody's.
No.
Yeah.
I've asked. I had a massage therapist try to get there. And It didn't really do anything.
Not going deep enough. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna fix it. We gotta get this. The spine is a volunteer structure. It's not under conscious control. When you're turning your neck, who turns? You understand? It's not like I have to teach you to start bending up here. That's not how it works. It either volunteers or it doesn't.
Okay.
And that's my point that I was trying to make earlier, is that later in the visit when I ask you to turn your neck, do you see this joint? by forced coercion, I'm making it volunteer. You understand?
Gotcha.
I'm beating it up and making this part of your neck bend. And so by this area doing its job, now less work is going to be required from your injured area. And so, hey, feels better because not all the mechanical mobility, range of motion is being focused into one spot. That's it. It's just a team. You have a team of 7 vertebrae in your neck but they're not all equal in their abilities. The upper neck is worth
I
more.
hope I can get it worked out because it's limited me to the point where I can't even do my normal workouts, or if I'm cutting my hair, I'll have to
Right.
put my arms down because it's so fatiguing.
Correct. Yeah, you're essentially how your body works when you move your arm, it's through controlled tasering. This nerve conducts electricity.
Okay.
Okay, so to your deltoid, for instance, when you want to lift your arm up, we call it nerve conduction velocity. We actually can put probes on you and actually measure how quick that signal is getting sent because we can detect the electricity.
That's cool.
But that's why a taser gun works when you run from not that I run from a police officer, but that's why a taser gun works, right? Why the heck does a taser gun work? Why would your muscles not be able to say, hey guys, I don't think this electricity came from the brain. I think it came from this gun this guy shot me with, right? The answer is because muscles are idiots, right? They don't ask questions of the origin of the electricity. They just say, we're hit with electricity, we're going to contract.
Wow.
And so when your brain conducts electricity down your spinal cord, down out this nerve, and so if you're hitting the nerve here, then the amount of conduction of electricity is dampened. Do you understand? You're not getting a full tasering.
Oh, wow.
It's controlled tasering is how your brain, that's how you move your body. Very, very controlled.
Wow.
Bzz, bzz, bzz. It's getting zapped. That's how it works. That's what nerves are. Nerves are electrical cables. They're cables that we call it depolarization. We have words for just, but basically electricity conducts its way down the neuron. We call it a myelin sheath. We get into really complicated stuff here.
Wow.
Actually, you ready for this? So it actually works. There's non-myelin and myelinated nerves. Myelinated nerves, basically it jumps. So instead of having to have every little part of the nerve depolarize, once this depolarizes, it jumps to the next part. And so it actually allows for a faster depolarization because we don't have to have every little, it's like it cheats. It takes like shortcuts. It shortcuts its way down the nerve. Those are called myelin sheaths.
Wow, that's really neat.
But
That is neat. I don't think you.
Myelin, myelin sheath. Everybody can Google that when they get home. And but some nerves are myelinated, which the point of having myelin is so that it doesn't take forever for a signal to get there. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you step on a nail, your body reacts quickly because their nerves are myelinated. They allow for fast conduction of electricity for motor and coordination. And otherwise, you'd step on the nail and then, it went all the way through, and then ow, and then you lift your foot. It makes sense. And like
That's
too late. Can't have any of whatever you want to call that. Whatever you want to.
I don't know what that is.
It's injury, stiffness, gristle. It's supposed to be smooth like a newly paved road, and it's like a bunch of potholes. You got a bunch of ripples, like a Belgian road. I have one. Hey. That person from Belgium go, actually, our roads are pretty bumpy. Like the whole world knows about this? Like a Belgian road.
So just working this out is going to stop all that
Yes, sir.
blood stopping from the arm and all that? Wow.
Because you're pinching the lower neck. All the blood stopping is happening because you have hypermobility. And then we got to rehabilitate. It's called disc rehabilitation. We got to take the stress off the disc. And your neck really doesn't like tilting left. We got to get your head off that right side. You abuse the right more than you use the left side, so the right side gets overstressed. I gotcha. Easy. There we go. Yeah, it's like just,
Is that muscle?
it's injuries. Yes, sir, it's muscle, but it's injury. The original tissue in your body was organized. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then it tore and it healed. Do
Oh.
you understand? That's what it is.
Okay.
The original tissue is no longer organized because it's been whiplashed or injured or falls or you name it. Something happened up here where it got injured and then it healed in a ball of yarn, and now it needs to be combed like a hairbrush to untangle it. Yeah, that's all been injured up there. Even makes a sound. I mean, it's like,
I hear it. It's gross.
yeah, that's the cause.
The other side didn't do that.
Yeah, the left is definitely worse right here. Nobody guided me yet. I didn't have a chiropractor as a father like you did. You spoiled kid. I know. My dad's a chiropractor. Okay, it's like having a dental hygienist as your father. Does that make sense? You're gonna probably have a much better chance of having clean teeth if your dad's a dental or an orthodontist. And unlike, was it the shoe salesman's kids are barefoot? It's like it doesn't make any sense.
It's like I followed in my footsteps. My dad's a mechanic.
That's
too.
awesome. That's awesome.
Actually, for Universal now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, that's the, I mean, if I could sum up your visit in one sentence, it'd be this knot on this left side. You got to get off that right side. It's right here. This lump up here is immobilizing your atlas, and that's forcing the work on the right lower. Cliff notes. That's the cliff notes. It's right here. Wow. There we go. It's coming out. Yep. Doing good. Doing good. Wow. Yeah. I think I found a shoulder problem right here. So it's the nerve's having to travel through this bruise here, and that's part of why it's not able to conduct the power to the shoulder well. But this is the circuit breaker. There's the problem.
Yeah, I'd say this one wreaks havoc of the actual nerve in the back where it just gets numb, but this one has a lot of the more of the damaged feeling.
Yeah. Right there. The Googleable diagnosis is called thoracic outlet syndrome.
Oh my gosh, I didn't say it to you, but that's what I thought.
That's the Googleable. If everybody wants to get on the same page with me, that's what you can Google, and you go, Ed's right, I have all these symptoms. Okay, that's. But how do we fix thoracic outlet? Well, what is the thoracic outlet? It's a funnel. All the nerves from your lower neck have to go through this brachial plexus funnel to get down to your arm. 3 things interact with that funnel. 1, the bone in the neck going what we call posterior or backwards. So if this bone slides backwards, meaning your chin goes down, do you understand, rounding forward too much, the bone pops posterior. 2, the rib elevation. That's what lifting your arm does. Raising your arm up elevates the rib. That compresses down on the funnel. 3, the tissue that the nerve sits in, the actual soft tissue. If the soft tissue is bruised, that irritates the nerve because of the acidity that it's sitting in. Does that make sense? Okay. So those are the 3 components for fixing. So how do I fix it as fast as possible? 1, we got to get the curve back in your neck. We got to adjust the upper neck, get the curve back in. 2, we got to get your upper back moving and push the ribs down. 3, the actual tissue that the nerve is sitting in needs to be cleaned. And then everybody gets better. Everybody gets fixed. You got to work on, those are the 3 components of thoracic outlet syndrome. This is the rib. I got to get this rib down.
That's the first rib?
Yes, sir. Right there, that little boop.
Yeah.
That's your first rib. That's got to go downwards. Yep. Its elevation is crimping that funnel. It's already an anatomical funnel to begin with. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's already like the movie 300. It's already a choke point, but it can be made much smaller than it already is when those 3 things happen. Way too stiff. Right there. All right. There we go. Breathe. Come on, bud. I think he was trying to push his elbow through my body. I know. We're trying to get down to the backbone. We're not doing a muscular massage. We're not doing a skin massage. We're not doing a lymphatic massage. We're getting down to the joints in your back. And of course, we're having to work through the muscles and lymphatics to get down that deep. We're trying to get down to the joints. All right. Right here, yeah, right there. I know, okay, wow, yeah, a little injury there. Yep. Come on, bud. Something happened in here. It's like I'm walking through a house and I'm opening doors and you're like, no, don't go in there. Why? Why can't I go in here? Nothing. Might have buried somebody in there, but what happened in here? Got an injury in your body. put walls around it to protect it. And so essentially this area quit on you, and now somebody else has to overwork. This area, as upset as it was, isn't allowed to stay, offline. It's got to get back on your team. But yeah, obviously right there you got something. And then he keeps poking at it. He kept on digging into it. He wouldn't leave it alone.
It does feel better than the first time you dug at it, though.
I know. We got to work through it until it doesn't hurt. There you go. I know. I got you. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Come on. Oh, jeez. It's like a mountain. Oh, come on. Try to stay on top of it. There we go.
Your rib that's up
Yep,
there?
yep. Just elevated ribs. Those all gotta get folded downwards. Man, yeah, jeez. I'm sure that does not feel good.
Oh, I'm not going to tap, though.
Yeah, it's. All right, take a break. Right there we go. Yes. There it is. Yes. That moved. That was nice. That's the hill that I was trying to stay on right there. It's supposed to be smooth like here, then it's like whatever you want to call all that. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had someone push down in that area?
No.
No, yeah, everybody's focusing on his symptoms, right?
Right.
Everybody's doing stuff to his shoulder, but it's his neck that is the shoulder. All right, embryonically, the first thing that forms is your spinal cord. You're saying your brain and your spinal cord and your brain are the first thing that forms before you even have a shoulder, right?
Okay.
And then the nerves that form the brachial plexus go off and make your shoulder, right?
Okay.
It's the nervous system that made the shoulder. The shoulder didn't make embryonically, you don't even have a bones yet. You all you have is nerves before you have any soft tissue, extremity.
Wow.
And so the nerves aren't just what made your shoulder and arm, or what upkeep them, it's what made them. You wouldn't have an arm or a shoulder without your nerves from your neck.
Wow.
And so the nerves in the neck, when those get pinched, then of course the health of the shoulder, becomes compromised because that's what made your shoulder.
It kind of tickles.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the pain in
Yeah.
that the whatever is like the tickle,
Mm-hmm.
it runs on the same nerve ending.
Well, what happens is it's almost similar to like a mosquito bite, how it itches. It's on the same kind of pathway. It's like there's irritants in the tissue that make the sensation of tickle heightened. Because the actual tissue has all this inflammation around it, even the tickle nerves are all
Yeah.
highly excitable. And so part of that is just as we clean your spine, that sensation will go down. One of the first adjustments I did on you when I was hugging you, I was asking this area to move. I was asking these pistons to go up and down in their cylinder walls, and they were stuck.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I use the massage and gua sha as a coercive device to help make them move later when I go to adjust them again. I got you. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. I got your back. Uh-huh. I got you. Lift up for me, breathe. I got you. Sorry, just relax your back. Relax. There you go. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I got you. Breathe. You okay?
Yep.
All right, breathe. Uh-huh. Good. All right. Good. All right. Arms down for me. Arms down. There you go. Very good. I'm trying to push on this to unlock that without making your lower neck bend too much. There we go. Wow. Yeah. You all right?
Yeah. that felt
Yes, I bet that felt good. Oh man, that's kind of ridiculous. You understand that it took that much to finally get it to move. You know, it was like it was holding on and going, no, no, no. Okay, fine. All right. Good. I got you. I got you, bud. I got you. I got you. All right. Yeah. All right. Come on, bud. Breathe. Tickles?
It's that left side.
Does it tickle right there? Or what is it?
Yeah, I would say it tickles, but it's probably really painful.
The goal is to find the edge and back off. You try to hold. This will cause lower back issues. If you leave this in here, this is the main engine up here. It's not allowed to be, wanting to be avoided. The joints are loaded with pain fibers. I'm compressing the joints, and they're going, whoa, 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 no, 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 no.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And you can live with this for 30 years until 50, it causes this to get destroyed.
Yeah.
You see, if this is not working, your lower back won't make it.
Yeah.
And so we do this not for the sake of this area, we do it for the sake of your lower back and the consequence of letting this stay rigid and stuck. Yeah. Here's some here, on that right shoulder, there's some there. All that inflammation. That's where that one was stuck right there.
Gotcha.
All that, yeah. You put your shirt on. Tilt your head right for me. Tilt right. Uh-huh. There we go. And go ahead and tilt your head to the right.
Sometimes it's
I didn't know
better.
that was possible.
Don't want to rip anything out.
Oh, there's silicone. That's good.
Okay, good.
Go ahead and tilt left. And go ahead and tilt left. Uh-huh. Anything in the arm or shoulder getting worse while you're laying on this, you need to let me know or we get off. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect? I expect to feel some uncomfortability where it's pressing in. I expect to feel maybe a little warmth or tingling in your neck. That's okay. But if the lower neck or shoulder or arm, anything gets worse while you're laying on this, then we're upsetting it and we want to try to stop that. And that's sometimes an indication we need to work more on the table, loosening you up so we can safely do this at home. No sleeping on your right side. That's your favorite place to sleep, isn't it? Daggone. How did I know that?
I actually have to sleep now completely flat without a pillow. It hurts so bad.
I understand.
Even if I have a pillow under my neck,
understand.
it's excruciating.
I understand. That, we need to work through that. I see, not having a pillow is like you putting your head forward. You understand?
Oh,
It allows you to avoid. Well, we need to have a conversation of, it's like eating chocolate cake. I eat chocolate cake and it tastes great. I love it. I understand it tastes great, but it's not great for you. You understand?
Okay.
Now, as we make your spine healthier, you won't feel the need to do that as often. But that is why you're here. That is part of the plan of your care, is to work through that. You understand? To a point where you wouldn't feel so uncomfortable that you have to go into that kind of avoidance to get relief. Get the idea? Yeah, I know. Put your arm to the side. Put your arm to the side. I know. You gotta start working on this, bud.
Oh wow, that's painful.
Robert's pressing in the thoracic, in the chest.
That's it. Yeah, through the back.
Yep. You gotta put your arms down. Put your arms down. Go ahead and turn your head right. How you feeling?
Not so stiff.
Yeah, a little better.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Still stiff this way, but not nearly as stiff this way.
Excellent. Yeah, you almost turn your head right. Turn your head right. Actually, you can see the.
You can see the inflammation over
Ugh.
those knots in your neck. Go the other way. So it's going to take a couple sessions to figure out that.
That's where the cause is.
Oh,
Yeah, easy.
Okay, you did great. It's a lot
All right.
of
Smart, right? Very good.
elbow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I had fun.
Yep, excellent.